ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Okay, good morning everybody. So heartily welcome to NSR Educational Institutions, NSR Impulse Educational Institutions to everybody. Now I am going to start physics. What is meant by physics? Oh, so many people are scared about physics. That means physics is a phobia to so many students. Why the physics is very tough? It's only feeling, it's not really tough. Why the students feel physics is tough? Just I am saying this is only the feeling, not really. Some people enjoy to do the physics, enjoying the physics. And one thing is, if you fall in love with physics, your lifestyle will be different, definitely. And one more thing, if you are habituated to do the physics, your lifespan will be increased. That is the power of physics. First of all, why students feel hard to do the physics? Why the students do? Simple thing is, up to the 10th class, you people having question answer. Just you have one question and below that answer. Just that is rectifying so many people. I am not saying not 100% people. Just 50% or at least 50 to 60% of the people based on buttification. That means question answer. But in intermediate point of view, that is entirely different. Okay, intermediate publications, intermediate public examinations, that is question answer. Okay, but when you enter into the competitive examinations, that means JEE Mains, MSET, Advanced, NEET, like that, definitely the situation is entirely different from your 10th class. Entirely different. That means here we have problems, concepts, like that. So easy way to understand the physics is, first you have to learn the concept. First of all, if you know the concept, everything must be in your tips. Everything must be in your tips. So first we have to habituate the language of the physics. And one more thing is, for example, and way to understand the problem, in what way we are understanding the problem, that is important. So that is a major key to do the physics. One is concept and the way you are understanding the problem. Almost 90% of the people knows about the concepts, but how to apply the concepts is very important. How to apply the concepts in the concerned situations. For example, we have one problem. For example, if a person moving with acceleration 10 meters per second square and mass of the person is equals to, for example, 50 kg. Mass of the person is given as 50 kg and acceleration of the person is 10. What is the force? Generally we know the force is equals to F is equals to ma, that is 50 into 10, that is 500 newtons. Just the way you are understanding the problem is important and the concept is important. The force formula, of course each and everybody knows about the force equals to ma. Everybody knows, but Here what I am saying, person traveling with acceleration of 10 meter per second square whose mass is 50 kg. So the way you are understanding the problem is important, like this. So based on this different problems we have, so different situations, the way you are understanding the problem is very important. So that is the major key to success in physics, and way to understand the concept also. The concepts are very, very important. If you understand the concepts thoroughly, it's very easy. Next, come to the topic. And one more thing is, some of the BPC students, generally BPC students, scared about mathematics. That's why they choose BPC. Only some percent, only 10% of the people. But for those 10% of the people in physics, without knowing the maths, the physics is not possible to do. So maths is the language of physics. Mathematics is the language of the physics. Very, very important it is. Without knowing the maths, not possible to do the physics. So first we are going to do what are the concepts, mathematical concepts used in physics. Some basics. Let us discuss about that. For example, if you come to the trigonometry, for example, in trigonometry, let us say it is x axis, x dash, it is y, so y dash. So this is considered as first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. These are the four quadrants. And one more thing is, one word, that is all silver teacups. All silver teacups. That means in the first quadrant all are positive. All are positive means sine value, cos value, tan value, cosecant, secant, cot, everything is positive in the first quadrant. Then come to the second quadrant. Second quadrant, silver, S means sine theta. Sine theta and cosecant theta are positive in the second quadrant. Remaining all are negatives. Come to the third quadrant, T in the sense tan theta. Tan theta and cot theta are positive in third quadrant. Remaining all are negative. And in case of fourth quadrant, C in the sense cos theta. Cos theta and secant theta are positive in fourth quadrant. Remaining all are negative. So this is all silver. All means all are positive. Silver means only sine theta and cosecant theta are positive, and T means tan theta and cot theta are positives. C means cos theta and secant theta are positives. Remaining all are negatives. So this is first four quadrants. First quadrant means the angle 0 to 90. The first quadrant angle is 0 to 90. We are starting from here. From here to here we are counting, the value is 0 to 90. Second quadrant is 90 to 180. Second quadrant angle is 90 to 180. Next, we are starting from here. Here to here angle is 180. This total angle is 180. Next, the third quadrant is 180 to 270. 180 to 270. So we are starting from here. 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270. Next, in fourth quadrant it is 270 to 360 or 0. So that is, these are the angles corresponding to the quadrants. 0 to 90 angle is first quadrant, 90 to 180 is second quadrant, 180 to 270 is third quadrant, 270 to 360 is fourth quadrant. So these are the, so in the first quadrant all values are positive. All values means we have sine theta, cos theta, tan theta. cosecant theta, secant theta, cot theta. In the first quadrant, all the quantities are positive. Sin theta positive, cosecant theta positive, cos theta positive, secant theta positive, tan theta positive, cot theta positive. Come to the second quadrant, silver. Only sin theta and cosecant theta are positive in second quadrant. Remaining these are negatives. And in third quadrant, T, that means tan theta, cot theta are positives. Remaining all are negative. In fourth quadrant, cos theta, secant theta are positive. Remaining all are negatives. So that is these quadrants. Then how to calculate the sin theta and cos theta values? So for example, if it is a right angle triangle, right angle means one angle must be 90 here, and let us say here is the angle theta, and this angle must be 90 minus theta, because the total angle in the triangle is 180. Total angle in the triangle is 180. So this is 90, this is theta, and this is 90 minus theta. So this side is called hypotenuse, and this is called adjacent side, and this side is called opposite side. In a right angle triangle, this longer side is called hypotenuse, this side is called adjacent side, and this side is called opposite side. So generally, if you want to find out the Pythagoras theorem, so many people, what I observed till now in my experience, so many students used to say Pythagoras theorem means generally AC square equals to AB square plus BC square. Here we are not placing ABC, but most of the people, so that is called, they are used to say AC square equals to AB square plus BC square. But what is the actual concept of the Pythagoras theorem? Concept of Pythagoras theorem is hypotenuse square is equals to adjacent side square plus opposite side square. This is the actual concept of Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse square equals to adjacent side square plus opposite side square. But most of the people used to say AC square equals to AB square plus BC square. If you change the number, if you change the namings, some people not used to say this is, some people fail to say the Pythagoras theorem actually. So this is the concept, and this is the buttification. This is buttifying. If you learn this concept, whatever is the names we can place. If you place PQR, if you place XYZ, if you place ABC, anything we can, based on this concept, we can say that. But if you remember only this one, if the names will be changed, we are hands up. So that is the major difference between these two. That is the understanding the concept and buttification. That is the major difference. So now, hypotenuse. So how can you find out the cos theta and sin theta formulas here? How can you find out the sin theta, cos theta formulas here? Mainly. So here, from this right angle triangle, cos theta can be written as, cos theta formula is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side by hypotenuse. And sin theta formula is opposite side by hypotenuse. Sin theta formula is opposite side by hypotenuse. And tan theta formula is opposite side by adjacent side. Cos theta is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse, sin theta is equals to opposite side by hypotenuse, tan theta is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. So general way to write. So cos theta, here secant theta is 1 by cos theta, and cosecant theta is equals to 1 by sin theta, cot theta is equals to 1 by tan theta. So secant theta is reciprocal of cos theta, cosecant theta is reciprocal of sin theta, cot theta is reciprocal of tan theta. So these are the terms. This is the way to find out the cos theta, sin theta, tan theta in right angle triangle. Of course, all of you know about this, but once recall, because these are very useful while doing the physics problems. And when the values sin, cos, tan, sin 0, sin 30 degrees, 45, 60, 90. So sin 0 value 0, sin 30 is 1 by 2, sin 45 1 by root 2, sin 60 root 3 by 2, sin 90 1. Cos 0 1, reverse, cos 30 root 3 by 2, cos 45 1 by root 2, cos 60 1 by 2, cos 90 0. So this tabular form is very important. You must remember all these values. It must be in your tips. So tan theta, and we can write tan theta is equals to sin theta by cos theta. Tan theta equals to sin theta by cos theta. So 0 divided by 1, something 0 divided by 1 is 0. Sin 30 by cos 30, 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2. So that is 1 by root 3. Sin 45 divided by cos 45, 1 by root 2 divided by 1 by root 2. 1 root 3 by 2, this is root 3 and this is infinity, because 1 divided by 0, something by 0 is infinity. So this is the tabular form, you must remember this. So how can you calculate cosecant theta? You know the sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosecant theta, reciprocal of sin theta, and reciprocal of cos theta, reciprocal of tan theta. And some relations here between sin theta, cos theta, here it is. One is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1, and cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equals to 1, secant square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1. These are the relations between sin theta, cos theta and cosecant theta values. And one more thing is, here sin 2 theta can be written as 2 sin theta cos theta, cos 2 theta can be written as 2 cos square theta minus 1, like this. Sin 2 theta, cos 2 theta values like this. So these are the some relations in trigonometry. Next, come to the logarithms. So log A into B, logarithmic values. This can be written as log A plus log B. Log A into B can be written as log A plus log B, or log A plus log B can be written as log AB. Log A by B can be written as log A minus log B. Log of A by B can be written as log A minus log B. In the same way, log A minus log B can be written as log of A by B. And log 1 value must be equal to 0, and so these are the logarithms values. Log AB can be written as log A plus log B, log of A by B is equals to log A minus log B, and the value of log 1 must be equal to 0. These are simple mathematics, and very important thing is conversions. Conversions are very important here. To do the physics problems, conversions. What are the conversions here is, for example, if we consider the length conversions, length units are generally kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter, and one more thing is also micrometer, like this. These are the generally, depending on the distance, these are the different units of length. Kilometer, large distances can be measured with kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter and micrometer. So generally 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters. 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meters, and 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters, and 1 meter equals to 1000 millimeters, and here also we can write 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters, and 1 meter is equals to 10 to the power of 6 micrometers, like this. These are the conversions. 1 kilometer equals to 100 meters, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters, and 1 meter can be written as 1000 millimeters, 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters, and 1 meter equals to 10 to the power of 6 micrometers, like this. So different unit conversions. And here, and one more thing is 1 kilometer per, for example, generally length conversions. If we consider the time conversions, basic unit of time is second. Basic unit of time is second. Next possibility, minute. 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. Next possibility is 1 hour. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes, that is equals to 60 into 60, 3600 seconds. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes or 3600 seconds. And for day, 24 hours is equals to 24 into 3600 seconds, that is equals to 86,400 seconds. 24 hours time means 86,400 seconds. This is the time conversions. Basic unit of time is second. Next possibility minute, next possibility hour, next possibility day. Year means into 365. 365 into 86,400 seconds. That is the length conversion and time conversion. Next conversion, mass. If you consider the mass, so general unit, generally we are using kilogram. In daily life we are using mass is kilogram. Generally, or we can use milligram and microgram. This is lowest possible values. Highest possible values, kilogram means of next quintal. Next tons, generally you use tons like that. So 1 kilogram, 1 quintal is equals to quintals. Next tons, 1 quintals is equals to 100 kg. 1 ton is equals to 10 quintas, that is 1000 kg. 1 ton is equals to 1000 kg. In the same way, 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 milligrams, and 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 or 10 to the power of 6 micrograms. So these are the mass conversions. Major conversion is kilogram, so smaller values is milligram and microgram. Major values are quintas and tons. Maximum possible unit we are using is ton. 1 ton is equals to 1000 kg. So this is the mass conversions. And so here speed conversion, first of all, very important thing is speed conversions. So generally, if the trains are moving or cars, everything must be measured with kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour. 1 kilometer per hour. So unit of speed, general unit. So generally we are using in daily life, that is kilometer per hour. But while doing the problems in physics, that is in terms of meters per second. How can you convert 1 kilometer per hour into meter per second? 1 kilometer per hour. So how can we convert into meter per second? That is very important here. 1 kilometer means how many meters? 1000 meter. So that is, here the main thing is 1 kilometer per hour. So 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. 1 hour is equals to how many seconds? 3600 seconds. 1 hour, 1 kilometer per hour is equals to 1000 meter per 3600 seconds. So 1000 by 3600. So that is 10 by 36 meters per second, that is 5 by 18 meters per second. So that means 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 kilometer per hour is equals to 5 by 18 meters per second. So this is the conversion, kilometer per hour into meters per second. Or 1 meter per second can be written as 1 meter per second is equals to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. Meter per second converts into kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour is equals to 5 by 18 meter per second. 1 meter per second equals to 18 by 5 kilometers per hour, reverse ratio. Next, one more thing is, we know density. So density, generally density can be written as mass by volume. Density can be written as mass by mass unit, generally it is kg, volume is considered as meter cube, kg per meter cube. How can you convert this? So general unit, kgs we can convert into gram and centimeter whole cube. This is meter and here we are using centimeter whole cube, or simply we can write it as gram per cc, cubic centimeter. This is kg per meter cube and this is gram per cc. How can you convert this? I think that is 1 kg per meter cube is equal to 1 kg equals to how many grams? 1000 grams. 1 kg equals to 1000 grams. 1 meter equals to how many centimeters? 100 centimeters. 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters, that is meter cube, that is centimeter cube. 100 whole cube into centimeter cube. 1000 can be written as 10 cube. This is 10 power 6 gram per cc that is 10 power 3 minus 6 gram per cc, 10 power minus 3 gram per cc. So written as 10 power minus 3 gram per cc, 10 power minus 3 gram per cc, or 1 gram per cc can be written as 10 cube kg per meter cube. The reverse of this, 1 kg per meter cube is 10 power minus 3 gram per cc. In the same way, 1 gram per cc is equals to 10 cube kg per meter cube. So this is a conversion of the general density can be written as mass by volume. Mass is measured in kg, volume is measured in meter cube. So that's why 1 kg per meter cube, 1 kg is 1000 grams, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters, that is 100 whole cube centimeter cube. So this is the thing. Now next, small formulas. Differentiation and integration. Differentiation, integration, these are the formulas, very useful. Of course, this differentiation you can get in intermediate first year, integral calculus you can get in second year syllabus mathematics. So these are the small formulas to do the physics problems. So in case of differentiation, general formula is, so d by dx of x power n, d by dx of x power n can be written as n into x power n minus 1. d by dx of x power n is equals to n into x power n minus 1. This is the differentiation formula. For example, so d by dx of x cube, in place of n we have 3 here. This is the formula, and you have derivations in mathematics, no problem, but you have to learn, just remember these formulas here. So d by dx of x cube can be written as, so in place of n we have 3 here, 3 into x power 3 minus 1, n into x power n minus 1. So d by dx of x cube here, x cube, that is 3 into x power 3 minus 1. So that is equals to 3 into x square, 3 into x square. Next, for example, d by dt of, for example, t square plus t cube. How can you do this? d by dt of t square plus t cube. Example, one more example for this. d by dt of t square plus t cube, that is equals to d by dt of t square plus d by dt of t cube. d by dt of t square plus d by dt of t cube. T square, here we discussed about x here. In place of x we have t here. This is x. Here the variable is x. Here the variable is t. So d by dt of t square, that is in place of n we have 2. 2 into t power 2 minus 1. Here in place of n we have 3. 3 into t power 3 minus 1. So that is 2t plus 3t square. d by dt of t square plus t cube, that is 2t plus 3t square. So this is the differentiation formula. And next, this is first formula here. d by dx of x power n is equals to n into x power n minus 1. Next, the important thing is d by dx of any constant is equals to 0. differentiation of any constant term is equal to 0. That means d by dx of constant term, let us say 2 is the constant, it does not varies with x. 2 is a constant term, this 2 does not varies with x, that is why this is the constant term, that is differentiation of 2 is 0, or d by dx of 3 or anything, any number, for example 50, here also 50 is the only numerical value, it does not varies with x, so that is why this value also 0. So differentiation of these terms must be equal to 0. Next, so differentiation of d by dx of log x, differentiation of log x is equals to 1 by x. In the same way, so differentiation of sin x is equals to cos x, differentiation of sin x equals to cos x into d by dx of x, so that is equals to cos x, dx by dx becomes 1. In the same way, d by dx of sin 2x, let us say, that is cos 2x into d by dx of 2x. d by dx of sin 2x is cos 2x. What we are writing here, d by dx of sin x equals to cos x into, what is the value here, only 1 into x, that is by dx, that value becomes 1, so that is cos x. But d by dx of sin 2x is cos 2x into d by dx of 2x, that is cos 2x into 2, that is 2 cos 2x. In the same way, d by dx of cos x is equals to minus sin x into d by dx of x, that is equals to minus sin x, dx by dx is 1. So d by dx of cos x equals to minus sin x. In the same way, d by dx of, let us say, cos 4x, that is equals to minus sin 4x d by dx of 4x. So dx cancels, minus 4 sin 4x. These are differentiation formulas. So general formula, d by dx of log x equals to 1 by x, differentiation of sin x equals to cos x, and differentiation of sin 2x equals to 2 cos 2x, because sin 2x is cos 2x into d by dx of 2x, that is 2 cos 2x, and d by dx of cos x equals to minus sin x, like that. And next, integration, general formulas, integration. So integration symbol is this one, integration, x power n dx, integral of x power n dx, exactly opposite of differentiation. Differentiation is nothing but decreasing powers, integration is increasing powers. So integral of x power n dx is equals to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, general formula, integral of x power n dx equals to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So for example, integral of x power 5 dx, so in place of n we have 5, x power 5 plus 1 divided by 5 plus 1, that is equals to x power 6 by 6, and integral of some constant into dx is equals to constant into x. integral of some constant, whatever it may be the constant, integral of constant into dx equals to that constant into x. For example, integral of 1 into dx is equals to 1 into x, integral of 2 into dx is equals to 2 into x, 2x, like that. So integral of constant into dx equals to that constant into x. Here what is the variable? X, dx. So that's why that becomes x. So these are the integration formulas. And one more thing is integral of 1 by x dx is equals to log x. Integral of 1 by x dx is equals to log x. And integral of sin x dx is equals to integral of sin x dx is equals to cos x minus cos x, and integral of cos x dx is equals to sin x. Integral of sin x dx equals to minus cos x, and integral of cos x dx equals to sin x. So these are the some integration formulas. Those are helpful to do the physics. So come to our original topic. So what is a physical quantity? What is a physical quantity? Let's discuss about physics now. Till now we discussed about the formulas which are very useful to do the physics, and formulas related to the problems to do the physics. Now we can discuss about original topic. So what is meant by a physical quantity? What is meant by a physical quantity? Physical quantity, any quantity that can be measurable in this world. Any quantity that can, mass we can measure, length we can measure, area we can measure, volume we can measure, time we can measure, distance we can, everything, whatever is the thing we can measure in this universe, that is called a physical quantity. That is called a physical quantity. Everything, whatever it may be the measurable thing, whatever it may be the measurable thing, that is a physical quantity. So everything, so many types of physical quantities we have in physics. So it can be divided into two conditions. Those are, first, fundamental physical quantities, and derived physical quantities. So the physical quantities can be divided into two conditions: fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. What are meant by these fundamental physical quantities and what are these derived physical quantities? Fundamental physical quantities means these physical quantities are the basic quantities, and these does not depend on any other factors. The fundamental physical quantities are the physical quantities, does not depends on any other factors, and these are the basic things, basic quantities. So that's why these are the fundamental. Any other quantities can be derived from these quantities only. Any other quantities can be derived from these quantities. So that's why these are the basic things. These does not depends on any other factors. So that's why those are called fundamental physical quantities. What are the fundamental physical quantities? So that is here mass, length, time, electric current, solid angle, amount of substance, temperature, luminous intensity. So these are the fundamental physical quantities: mass, length, time, electric current, solid angle, amount of substance, temperature, luminous intensity. Mass. So mass does not depends on general, different depends on shape, size, like different whatever it is. But this is the fundamental physical quantity. Anything can be, so mass related things can be derived from mass only. Mass is the fundamental physical quantity, and length is the physical quantity, and time is the fundamental physical quantity. Electric current is the fundamental physical quantity. Solid angle, amount of substance, temperature, and luminous intensity, all these are the fundamental physical quantities. Any other quantities can be derived from these physical, any other quantities can be derived from these physical quantities only. So those are called fundamental physical quantities. For example, to represent these physical quantities, we have to represent with some unit. Why this unit is? For example, the distance between two positions is considered as, the distance between two positions is considered as 50. The number is 50. What is that 50? Whether it is mass or length or time, electric current, solid angle, we don't know, whatever it is. If the distance between two positions is considered as, the number is 50. What is that 50? We don't know what is that. So to represent that, a unit is required. The basic unit is required for any physical quantity, that is the unit. To represent the mass, general unit is kg, kilogram. To represent the mass, general unit is kilogram, or that means the mass of the substance is, we can say that 50 kilogram or 50 grams or 50 milligrams, like that. So that means to represent the mass, one unit is required, the standard unit, that is considered as kilogram. And in the same way, to represent the length, the distance between two cities, kilometers, the distance between two positions, meters, distance between two atoms, milligrams or micrograms, like that. So to represent the length, the unit is meter. So unit is the main thing to represent that physical quantity compulsory. Unit is the main thing to represent that physical quantity. Whatever is the physical quantity we are saying, represent with that unit. Next, time. The basic unit of time is second. The basic unit of time is second. Time must be represented with second. And electric current is represented with ampere. Electric current is represented with ampere. Solid angle, steradian. So in further classes we can discuss about these values. Solid angle is represented with the unit steradian. Amount of substance is nothing but mole. Amount of substance is represented with mole. And temperature unit is Kelvin. Luminous intensity is candela. So temperature is represented with Kelvin or Celsius or Fahrenheit. We have different units, but general basic unit of temperature is Kelvin. And luminous intensity is denoted with candela. And these are the units of the fundamental physical quantity. Mass unit is kg, length unit is meter, time unit is second, electric current unit is ampere, solid angle unit is steradian, amount of substance unit is mole, temperature is Kelvin, luminescent density is candela. Of course, we can represent mass with kilogram, gram, milligram or quintas, tons like that. Why the different units for the same physical quantity? Why the different units for the same physical quantity? And here length we can represent in kilometer or meter or centimeter, millimeter like this. Why do we have different units for this length? Because for example, if we consider the length, the distance between two cities, for example, the distance between Hyderabad and Vijayawada, let us say approximately 300 kilometers. We must represent with kilometer. It is not possible to represent with millimeters and meters. So that means based on the order of the magnitude, we have different units for the same physical quantity. So that is generally bulk unit of mass is we can represent in ton. 2 tons of rice or 10 tons of rice like that. Smaller things represent with kilogram, generally daily using purpose, 2 kgs of sugar, 3 kgs of sugar like that. In when compared is a gold, so precious things, 2 grams of gold, 3 grams of gold like that. So that means based on different units, order of magnitude, we have different units for the same physical quantity. So the unit of mass is kg, the unit of length is meter, unit of time is second, unit of electric current is meter, solid angle is steradian, amount of substance is mole, and temperature is Kelvin, luminous intensity is candela. And one more term is come to the derived physical quantities. So these derived physical quantities are the quantities that can be derived from the fundamental physical quantities. The physical quantities, those are derived from fundamental physical quantities, those are derived physical quantities. So what are the derived physical quantities? Apart from these, all are derived physical quantities. Apart from these physical quantities, remaining all are derived physical quantities. Let us say area, volume, speed, acceleration, force, momentum, pressure, everything, pressure, density, work, so etc. Everything. Apart from these physical quantities, everything must be a derived physical quantity. So how can we write the units of these derived physical quantities? That is, these are the units of fundamental physical quantities. Then how can you write the units of derived physical quantities? Very simple. So how can you write the units of derived physical quantities? So first thing is, for example, if we consider area generally, so area formula is area. For example, if we consider the square, so let us say what is the area of the square means length into length generally. If it is a rectangle, we can consider as length into breadth like that. What is the unit of length? Meter. And here also unit of length is meter. So that's why meter square. So that is the unit of the area is meter square. So based on the fundamental physical quantities only, we are writing the units of derived physical quantities. Based on the units of fundamental physical quantities, we are writing the units of derived physical quantities. So area unit is meter square. In the same way, volume So for example, volume of the cube we can consider, let us say that is length into breadth into height. So generally volume of the cube is length into breadth into height. Length can be measured in meter and breadth also measured in meter, height also measured in meter. So that is equals to, so it is meter cube. So the unit of volume is meter cube. So for example, all of you know very well that is force. Force formula is E mass into acceleration. Mass unit is kg, acceleration unit is meter per second square, that is kg meter per second square. Force unit is mass, force formula is mass into acceleration. Mass unit is kg, acceleration unit is meter per second square, that is kg meter per second square. So based on the formula, we can write the unit of the derived physical quantities. Or simply, before going to, let us say speed. If you write speed, what is the speed formula? Distance by time, general formula. The speed formula is distance by time. What is the unit of distance? Meter. Unit of time is second. So that is meter per second. So the unit of speed is meter per second, like this. So every derived physical quantity can be derived from fundamental physical quantities only. These are the two conditions in case of physics: fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantity means those are the basic physical quantities, those does not depends on any other quantities. So those, everything must be derived from those only. That's why those, they are called fundamental physical quantities. And here these are the derived physical quantities. These derived physical quantities can be derived from fundamental physical quantities. So that means, how can you write the units of these derived physical quantities? So everything must be based on fundamental physical quantities. So their area, length into length. Length is the fundamental physical quantity. That's why length unit is meter into meter, meter square. So that's why area is the derived. Area derived from fundamental physical quantity, length. In the same way, volume, length, breadth, height, meter, 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 meter cube. That means volume can be derived from fundamental physical quantity, length. In the same way, force, mass, acceleration. Acceleration consists of meter and that means length and time. So force is the derived physical quantity that can be derived from three physical quantities: mass, length, time, like that. So based on the formula we can write the unit. So these are the derived physical quantities. Everything must be derived like this. And one more thing, one small thing, it is dimensional formula. So dimensional formula means every physical quantity can be represented to the powers of fundamental physical quantities. Every physical quantity can be represented to the powers of fundamental physical quantities. That is called dimensional formula or dimensional analysis. So generally we have fundamental physical quantity, mass, unit is kg, and its dimensional analysis or dimensional formula is represented with capital M. The dimensional formula of mass represented with capital M. Next, length. General unit is meter. Its dimensional formula represented with capital L. It is second, and its dimensional formula is represented with T. Dimensional formula means any physical quantity, every physical quantity can be represented to the powers of fundamental physical quantities. Those are mass, length, time remaining. So next, temperature, that is unit is Kelvin, and it is represented with K, dimensional formula, temperature. Next, electric current, that is unit is ampere, so its dimensional analysis represented with A, dimensional formula represented with A. Next, amount of substance, unit is mole, and here also it is represented with mole, dimensional also represented with mole. So remaining, we don't require remaining, these are the main physical quantities we can. So mass, length, time, temperature, electric current and mole. Now for example, these are the fundamental, the physical quantities, fundamental physical quantities having dimensional formulas. Mass, that means m power 1, L power 1, T power 1, K power 1, A power 1, mole power 1, like that. So next, come to the derived physical quantities. We derived, that is area. Area, what is the unit of area? We derived already, meter square. Unit of area is meter square. So meter, what is the length dimensional formula? L here. So the dimensional formula area is L square. It doesn't having mass term, it doesn't having any time. Doesn't have mass, doesn't have time. Area dimensional formula is L square, because length dimensional formula is represented with L. That's why area unit is meter square, we derived already. That's why it is L square. In the same way, volume, what is the unit of volume? We derived already, that is meter cube. So the dimensional formula is, in volume there is no mass term, only meter cube, that is L cube, and time term also doesn't have. Volume doesn't have any time term, any mass term, it's having only length term, that is L cube. And speed, just now we wrote, speed is equals to distance by time, that is meter per second, meter per second unit. What is the representation of meter? Length. Representation of time, second, that is t, that is LT power minus 1. Length divided by time, the t comes to the numerator, that is t power minus 1. This is the dimensional formula of speed, LT power minus 1. LT power minus 1. This is the way to write the dimensional formula. Every physical quantity can be represented to the powers of fundamental physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities, that is the dimensional formula. What is the dimensional formula of area? That is meter square, L square. If you know the unit, and we can write the dimensional formula. And simply, one more term is, let us say here, so just we consider the force. Force F is equals to ma, mass is kg, acceleration is meter per second square. Mass is kg, acceleration is meter per second square. That is kg, that means kg represented with the dimensional formula m. Meter denoted with the dimensional formula L. Second denoted with the dimensional formula t square. So that is mLT power minus 2. So here the unit is kg meter per second square. Kg representation is m, meter representation is L, time representation is, so second representation is t. So mLt power minus 2. This is the way to write the dimensional formula of different physical quantities. If you know the unit, then we can write dimension formula very easy. So that's. So if you have any doubt based on these concepts, just call to this number 9985062499. If you have any doubt based on the previous concepts, so write this dimension, call to this number or message to this number, I will reply. Thank you.